Villaseñor to the position of Director of School Leadership, effective with the 2025-2026 school year. Trustee Shea made a motion. Trustee Lamb seconded the motion. A roll call vote was taken. The results were 4 ayes and 0 nays.
Thank you so much. Item F, review of agenda. We'll be pulling item 3A as CTA has not yet had the chance to vote on the revised instructional calendars. So we will be not doing item 3A. All right, item G, PTA council remarks. I'm happy to invite up Raquel Bautista, Martin PTA president, who will give the remarks tonight. She's here. We like guests. She can come up too. If you can press on the button.
Good evening, President Anthony, trustees, Superintendent Moore, members of the cabinet, and members of the community. My name is Raquel Bautista. This is my 3rd year volunteering in the PTA and my 1st year as president at Martin Elementary. This is our vice president, Viviana. Say hello to the people. My children currently are in 3rd grade and preschool at Martin Elementary. We have a lot of upcoming highlights for PTA in the district this month. Bury is showing Lilo and Stitch for their movie night on 9/12 and 9/19. Monteverde is having their movie night 9/12. Westboro Middle School is having their 6th grade bowling night on 9/12. Ponderosa is having their carnival 10/18. There are a few fundraisers coming up. Martin is selling World's Finest 9/15 to 10/23. Bury is having a restaurant night at Panda Express 9/16, and so is South City High School, same dates. Ponderosa would like to invite everyone to eat at Off the Grid on 9/23, where $1 of each transaction goes towards PTA. Monteverde is having their walkathon on 9/26, and Martin is hosting a Scholastic Book Fair 9/26 to 10/3. I'd like to take a moment to share a bit about Martin Elementary PTA, but first I want to thank all the PTA members and parent volunteers who are here with us tonight. Please stand and be recognized if you're here. No one? Okay. We're especially proud of the community events that bring our whole family together. Some events at Martin are the Turkey Trot, Pictures with Santa, and helping support the Trunk or Treat, and our very favorite, the Ruby Bridges Walk to School. These are just a few of the ways that PTA helps make a more vibrant and enriching experience. The PTA supports the Portrait of Graduate aims, engage students' sense of belonging and well-being. The PTA's mission at all schools is to build community, which contributes to a sense of belonging for all students and families. To support the graduate aim sense of belonging, we've organized the world's finest fundraiser that raises funds to ensure that every 5th grader has the ability to take part in outdoor ed if they'd like. To support the graduate aim sense of well-being, we are working on organizing a literacy workshop to help parents of children 5 and under to sign up for programs to receive free monthly books. We're hoping to extend the invitation to other schools in our district and help grow our little ones' home libraries. At the end of the day, we're all here because we deeply care for the kids. Nothing makes me happier than to see our students develop, flourish, and become confident, capable individuals. Thank you, and if there's no questions, that's our reporting.
Thank you. That was a great report. Item H, Staff Association Representatives Remarks. I'd like to invite up South San Francisco Federation of Adult Educators, Elizabeth Bale Stutes.
All systems red. Good evening, honored board members, members of the cabinet, Superintendent Moore, and the school community. I'm Elizabeth Bale Stutes, president of the South San Francisco Federation of Adult Educators. I was not able to attend the August board meeting as I was recovering from knee surgery, so I have some catching up to do. It was pleasant to attend the Welcome Back rally with my adult ed and Baden ed coworkers. I applaud the decision to lift up our district students and offer them an opportunity to lead such an event. It was great to see them take charge, and they did a fantastic job. However, it's unfortunate that the union presidents were not given the opportunity to address the district at large. It's our single opportunity to do so each year, and it's a concrete way to extend a welcome to us and to the staff members we represent. For me, as the AFT president, this was particularly disappointing because we have some major changes on the adult ed campus this year, and I would have appreciated the chance to let everyone know. For more than 20 years, adult ed operated on a 20-hour schedule for the daytime ESL classes. In the years after COVID, it became increasingly apparent that this schedule was not best serving our community. In spring 2025, we as a site made the decision to shift this fall to a 12-hour schedule for the day ESL classes, with sessions running from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday through Thursday. This has given us the flexibility to launch a number of new 2-hour classes in the afternoon from 12:30 to 2:30. I would have liked to announce these changes at the rally. The consequences of that missed opportunity were unfortunately compounded by the website vendor issues across the district, which took control of our website out of our hands at a critical time for us. At Adult Ed, we make extensive use of our website for publicizing and recruiting for our courses. So not being able to update the site interfered with publicizing the change schedule. These two factors, the change to the rally and the website vendor issue, created a kind of perfect storm that made finding students for our new courses much more challenging. So I'm taking my chance to do that now. To help community members make the transition between adult ed and employment or community college, we're offering Gateway to Health Careers in collaboration with Skyline College, as well as a college and career transitions course that prepares students with the knowledge to succeed in college or in searching for a job. We've also launched an office assistant pathway course. In addition, we're offering listening and speaking, which I understand is at capacity, intermediate grammar, and intermediate academic writing, as well as afternoon sections of some of our ESL levels. However, I know that many people are not aware of these classes, which means that many of them are under-enrolled. We're actively recruiting and constantly reevaluating for the best interests of our students and the school. I teach the academic writing class, and currently I have one student from my ESL class, one older adult from the community, and 2 students from Baden. It's been amazing to bring this diverse group of members together and see them interact, and I hope we can recruit enough people to keep the class open. One of my Baden students wants to strengthen his writing skills and earn extra credits so that he can make the move back to South City in the spring, and I would love to help make that happen for him. Members of the SSF Unified Community, I invite you to learn more about what adult ed has to offer. If you work or volunteer at one of our K-12 schools, Maybe you know parents who might benefit from our afternoon ESL classes. We have beginning low and intermediate low sections that meets twice a week from 12:30 to 2:30. And our afternoon literacy class meets twice a week from 1:30 to 3:30. You can find out more about all of our course offerings on our website, ssfae.ssfusd.org. The nice thing about these 2-hour classes is that maybe they fit right in between lunchtime and pickup. And they're only 2 days a week, so parents might be able to fit them into their schedules better than a 4-day class. In AFT news, we have our first unit meeting of the school year tomorrow, and we'll be beginning the process of creating a sunshine proposal. We have a full WASC visit in the spring, so we're hoping to bargain before then. Finally, I hope to see positive results from the negotiations between the district and CSEA. I've spoken in this space before about how vital our classified workers are. Without office assistants and registrars, paras, campus supervisors, ed tech and IT specialists, nutrition and student services workers, payroll and benefits staff, facilities staff, and so many more, this district would quite literally grind to a halt. When workers don't feel respected or appreciated, morale suffers and people often choose to move on to better opportunities. Money talks, and without competitive pay and benefits, we cannot retain qualified staff. So again, I hope to see positive results from the bargaining. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. Sounds like a great slate of classes at the adult ed this fall. I'd like to invite up South San Francisco Classroom Teachers Association, Sherry Giusti.
Good evening, President Anthony, members of the board, SSFUSD cabinet, and community. I definitely started this year with a lot on my plate. With a lot to say and very little time to say it in, I am going to use one of the professional development techniques we have been asked to use when teaching math. It is, what do you notice? What do you wonder? I noticed that last meeting a month ago, there was a hearing asking for comments on whether all curricula were in place at school sites. I noticed it was not until a week later that an order was placed for K2 math, causing all K2 classrooms to not have any math curriculum until last week. I wonder why this hearing was done so early before teachers noticed anything missing. I wonder if K2 teachers could be compensated 2 hours for all the missed planning time that occurred due to searching and copying for math content during the first month of school. This year, I noticed that some classrooms are way over in class size compared to what SSFCTA feels is manageable for teachers and efficient for students. I wonder if our classrooms would succeed more if we could stick to the numbers outlined in our bargaining agreement. I have noticed that technology complaints among educators are at an all-time high. They are mentioning the lack of printers working, old equipment that keeps having to be replaced, and a lack of timely responses from our technology department. I wonder if there is a plan for purchasing new technology for educators, especially when using technology in our lessons is more of a necessity now rather than a luxury. I wonder if we need more people in the technology department to address site needs in a timely way. I noticed that learning walks, I'm sorry, I don't know the current label for them, are about to resurface in our classrooms. I wonder if the district will work with SSFCTA as it did many years ago when learning walks were first introduced. Working together in advance helped ensure our members felt less targeted, even though stigma still exists about why these are necessary. I wonder if it will be explained. I wonder if we have had enough training to address what you will be looking for in the classroom. I wonder what you will be looking for in classrooms. You may have noticed that tonight I am in blue to show support for my CSEA colleagues. Our children and teachers count on them to help our schools run efficiently. I noticed that CSEA has not yet come to an agreement with SSFUSD in bargaining. I wonder if we can count on the district to come to the table and negotiate a contract settlement that will show how valuable our CSEA colleagues are in helping our school sites function. Thank you for your time and happy fall.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite California School Employees Association, Chapter 197. Not sure if we have our rep tonight. I don't think Jolene's here. All right, item I, Personnel Commission.
Our next Personnel Commission meeting will be convened on Monday, September 15th, 2025 at 5:00 p.m. in the district office boardroom.
Thank you so much. Item J, items from the board, announcements, board calendar, board committee reports. All right, moving on to item K, superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, President Anthony. Cabinet directors, coordinators, and board members really had the privilege of attending back to school nights over the course of the last 2 weeks. Very excited to share that 100% of the district team members who attended and observed noticed the following was true at all of our back to school nights. All of our schools created a welcoming environment that was set up well for our families, that our school leaders did a great job sharing key messages regarding our vision, Portrait of a Graduate, as well as district priorities for the year, and that translation services were also set up for those who needed it. Some qualitative feedback that was shared was that it was a great turnout this year for back to school nights. Information that was provided was relevant, clear, and tied directly to district priorities, that there was an emphasis on attendance and sharing how much students are missed when they aren't there, that the community building was alive and well, and some integrated food, which was a really nice touch. Leaders were supportive and demonstrated such care for their communities, and it was really nice to see the PTA being included along with our SSF Ed Foundation, with also invitations for our PTA leadership to speak. Back to school nights were also organized and set up for success. So overall, it was a positive experience based on feedback from district leaders, as well as trustees who attended and observed. I'm just really proud of all of our school leaders and all of our staff for being so thoughtful and so intentional with their back to school nights. It was a great demonstration of how community is our strength, how authentic relationships matter, and we were able to witness the myriad of ways our educators are already creating conditions for our students to learn and thrive. Cabinet school visits. Cabinet members and I have been working together to respond to feedback that we received last year, including the importance of being even more present and visible at schools, more so than we already were. While we still have, we will have opportunities to visit throughout the year during this first month, each cabinet member has prioritized time to just visit more informally, to connect with staff, to observe teaching and learning, to engage with our students, and to really celebrate bright spots. These visits have been both valuable and rewarding as we've been able to see our POG aims, students learning and navigating challenges in their learning, but also persevering. And so it's really nice to see the ways that it's coming to life in classrooms and across school communities. We look forward to continuing these visits throughout the year. I also want to thank the cabinet for the time that they are dedicating to being in schools. We are truly learning, appreciating, and enjoying the time alongside our staff and students. And with that, that concludes my report, President Anthony. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on to item L, student trustee reports. Jamie Lynn Ochoa, Fall Student Trustee and ASB President, SSFHS.
Good evening, board, cabinet, and community. My name is Jamie Lynn Ochoa, and it's my pleasure to be serving as this year's Fall Student Trustee representing South San Francisco High School. I hope everyone has settled down and happily adjusted to the new school year. Our school, along with ASB, has been hard at work at providing a number of events and activities to get our students involved and to feel welcome in our environment. We kicked off the school with our Welcome Back Assembly on Friday, August 22nd. We had an amazing guest speaker, Ramasaurus, who helped our students step out of their comfort zone by teaching them how to dance hip hop and the history of rap. Secondly, South City also held a freshman assembly where all ninth graders had the opportunity to meet their counselors and admin. They were taught a portrait of a graduate, our graduating requirements, and they got to give our new principal, Miss Belisi, a warm welcome. Freshman elections and voting took place from August 25th through the 27th. And on August 29th, we were so excited to welcome our new freshman officers, Jody Bassina, Melody Lai, Lavina Yu, and Chloe Thant. Also, we held a special election for the senior treasurer position with Danila Palamaria taking on the role. As for the ASB senior officers, they planned and held our annual senior sunrise on our football field on Friday, August 22nd, starting at 6 a.m. with their setup starting at 4 a.m. Our senior class had a blast with the large amount of activities provided, such as giant human hamster balls, face paint, and a number of field games. They were able to stamp their handprint on a banner, which will be hung up on future senior events. Additionally, they were able to write letters to their future selves, which will be delivered at senior sunset. Free food and drinks were provided, such as bagels, croissants, and other baked goods. Class bonding events such as these allow us to achieve Portrait of a Graduate Aim Thrive, as the seniors were able to relax and enjoy this event. Our College and Career Center held workshops from August 18th through the 22nd, from financial literacy to discovering student passions. These workshops were held to help build skills to empower our students' future. On the very last day, we had South City alumni come and share their experiences, answer questions, and connect with their peers to grow our community network. South City also held our annual Back to School Night on Tuesday, August 26th. Not only did our parents and students enjoy walking through the campus and interacting with the teachers, but they also got to enjoy performances from our very own folkloric program and band. Additionally, our ASB class has officially decided on this year's homecoming theme. We are overjoyed to announce that this year's homecoming theme is Disneyland, with each class taking a certain land as their sub-theme. Our seniors are taking on Pixar Pier, while the juniors chose Galaxy's Edge. The sophomores chose the Adventures Campus, and the freshmen are doing Bayou Country. Our homecoming will take place on October 4th, with homecoming week from September 29th through October 2nd. Our classes have already gotten started with putting together homecoming committees to put on a rally dance, decorate the school, and perform a lunchtime skit. We await to see where their creativity takes them with our theme this year. Our sport teams have been hard at work, already accomplishing great feats. Yesterday, our flag football team had their first game of the season with a winning score of 24-6. The South City football team season looks promising as they start league games. We wish them the best of luck as they have an away game tomorrow against Lee High School. As for girls golf, they started out the season strong and are 2-2 on our season. Girls tennis has begun their season this week with a couple single wins by a couple of our players, and they just finished their home match earlier today. Congratulations to our cross-country team as they competed on Monday at the Lowell Invitational at Golden Gate Park. On top of that, our girls volleyball has also started out strong and are looking forward to another great season. They will be having their very first tournament of the season on September 13th. We wish all of our teams the best of luck. We are looking forward to another promising season for all of our sport teams. The Red Cross Club is hosting the first blood drive of the school year on Wednesday, September 24th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Together, we can work to fulfill the Portrait of a Graduate Aim, impact, and better our community. You can find the sign-up link in the Instagram bio at SSFUSD Red Cross Club. Be a hero, donate blood, and save a life. Finally, tomorrow is our annual club rush planned and organized by ASB School Community Commission. During lunch, over 20 clubs, including veteran clubs such as Earth Club and Key Club, and new clubs such as the Wellness Warriors Club and Everyone at the Table Club, will advertise their club for our student body to be a part of. This event will take place in the big gym during lunch. We are excited to see what creative methods will be employed this year to attract new members. We welcome all board members to this event if you would like to visit and see the most diverse campus offerings of our school community. This event will begin at 11:40 and end at 12:15. Please let me know if there are any questions. If not, then this concludes my board report. Thank you.
1 month in, so much already. All right, Isabel Ruiz, Spring Student Trustee and ASB President from El Camino High School.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, and audience both present and at home. My name is Isabel Izzy Ruiz, and I'm currently a senior serving as the ASB president at El Camino High School. I hope you're all doing well and having a great start to the school year. Our freshman elections concluded on August 29th, and I'm pleased to announce that we have welcomed Danielle, Danica, Ann, and Raina Lynn, who will be representing the class of 2029 and starting their first year of high school full of fun and memories. Last Friday, Senior Sunrise was an unforgettable experience for the class of 2026. Despite the early morning fog, the event was a huge success. Everyone came together sharing moments that will last a lifetime. Whether it was grabbing food, crafting crowns, bracelets, or senior memory boxes, the entire class was bonded through a variety of activities. The sense of unity and excitement was visible, setting a positive tone for the school year ahead. It was the perfect way to kick off the school year, leaving everyone feeling energized and connected. Homecoming season has officially arrived and the air is filled with excitement. Each class is gearing up to create decorations, skits, and dances for their designated days, all surrounding this year's theme, Avatar: The Last Airbender. The homecoming committee, led by class offices, have begun their preparations for the big day. From painting posters to rehearsing routines, the competition and creativity are building up. The highly anticipated homecoming dance is set for the 27th, promises a magical evening and its elegant Into the Spirit World theme. It's sure to be a memorable week filled with school spirit and fun, bringing everyone together to celebrate. Fall sports have officially begun, and we wish the best of luck to all our athletes. From football, cheer, cross country, flag football, girls tennis, girls golf, and girls volleyball, each team is ready to take on this season. A few special highlights from this sports season is our girls golf team, who competed against South City yesterday and came home with the trophy. Additionally, our flag football team had their very first game in Colt history this Monday and took home a win against the Woodside Wildcats. What a fantastic way to kick off their inaugural season. We wish the best of luck to all our athletes, and we can't wait for the exciting season up ahead. Tomorrow, our counselors will be hosting a wellness fair during Flex to help students learn about valuable resources for mental health and self-care, including NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We're incredibly grateful to all our counselors for organizing this event and ensuring that every student feels seen and supported. I also want to give a special shout out to our peer counselors who are students on our campus that take a class where they learn how to support their peers and serve as a compassionate listening ear. They offer a unique and relatable resource for students who may feel more comfortable opening up to fellow classmates. To keep the Friday fun going, 99.7 Now, the radio station, will be visiting our school during lunch for a high school takeover. They'll be playing music to energize the campus and will also be interviewing some of our flag football players and peer counselors. These interviews will be broadcasted on the radio 8 p.m. tomorrow, so be sure to tune in. That concludes my report, and unless there's any questions, I'd like to thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much.
President Anthony, I would just want to say these girls really hit the ground running. Every year they're covering so much. On the first back to school night, they were tables out there and fundraising. These girls, both our teams, both our high schools really do a lot of work, and they're so happy to be doing it. It's just infectious. I ended up buying a t-shirt. That's how the marketing worked. And I was happy, but I couldn't find it, but I wear it next time. Congratulations, girls, on a fast start on a new year.
Thank you so much, Trustee Richardson. All right, public comments. Public comments are limited to 1 to 3 minutes. We'll have 3 minutes tonight as we have 8 public comments. Name and address cards are placed in the back of the room to be completed and given to the secretary. The board president will call upon individuals in random order who have requested to speak. Each person may only speak once and is required to address the board from the podium. The meeting is recorded and streamed live. Individuals may address the board concerning school business not on the agenda, but public comment cannot be acted upon or discussed by the board unless placed on the agenda at a subsequent meeting in accordance with the law of the Brown Act. The board may request staff to respond orally at the meeting or in writing at a future time. So as I said, we have 8 comments. We'll start with Aaron Hafner.
All right. Good evening, Dr. Moore, Cabinet, President Anthony, and School Board Trustees, and South San Francisco public. My name is Aaron Hafner. I'm a math teacher at El Camino High School, and I am here on behalf of the 18 MLL students in Ms. Robinson's geometry class, the 17 students in my Algebra 1 class, Ms. Vega, our para, and myself. El Camino High School recently began enrolling students who are designated as Level 1 and Level 2 MLL. Now, before I go on, MLL stands for Multilingual Learner, a student who needs language support when accessing curriculum. To the general public, this means we have a lot of currently enrolled students who need an aid or in order to be successful in the classroom environment. El Camino has one and only one aid. And while Ms. Vega is amazing to work with, she's only one person. El Camino currently needs 2 aides. This is because there are multiple periods where there are 2 classes that have a dozen or so students who need Ms. Vega's help to access the curriculum. Our district has a number of honorable goals, but one of our most honorable is that we strive to guarantee that a student's success in the classroom is not dictated by the color of their skin or the language they speak at home. Equity is the only way to achieve this goal. Equity, the concept of giving someone who needs glasses so they can see as well as the next student. El Camino's MLL population needs a second MLL para. They need a second pair of glasses, or they will be left behind in the classroom. I'm here tonight to tell you that there is a disservice being dealt to the students at El Camino High School of the MLL population, one you can easily fix. Please hire a second MLL para so the students on our campus can see again. In addition, I would like to talk about the lack of equality between the 2 school sites. South San Francisco High School, our amazing counterpart in the district, is using sheltered classes, while El Camino High School is using cohort-style approach. The difference, El Camino High School has mixed classes of MLL students and students from the general population, while a sheltered class is one that consists solely of MLL students. Myself, other experienced teachers, TOSAs, and paras know that the sheltered approach is a superior approach, and I am here to ask that El Camino be greenlit to use the sheltered approach for the remainder of the school year and all upcoming years. So to summarize my reason for being here, I'm asking that a second MLL para be provided for our school site, and I'm asking that El Camino use a sheltered approach for their MLL student population. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for your comment. Kevin Bultima.
Nobody applauds for an accountant. I get it. My name is Kevin Bultima. I serve as the Deputy Superintendent for Business Services for San Mateo County Office of Education. My purpose here this evening is to really communicate appreciation to your staff that worked so diligently in implementing a new financial system, also known as an enterprise resource planning software system. We've been working on this since March of 2024. It has been a huge endeavor countywide. And most of your staff already has full-time jobs. And we've asked them to do more beyond that to implement this new system. However, we do feel it's been very successful. My office isn't receiving any calls and our name isn't in the paper. So we think we're doing okay. But it really is to the credit of your staff who worked so hard. Would like to thank Ted O, Mr. Hannon, for your work in leading your departments in this area. Your teams have been wonderful to work with. We certainly acknowledge there have been some difficult days. At times we were overwhelmed in this work, but I think we worked together and got through it. So again, we want to thank you, but we also hope that you find this new tool to be a real benefit to the district. We hope that you will find it that will pay your employees correctly. It will report their retirement accurately. It will account for employee leaves, provide financial reports timely, develop and track your budgets better, purchase items with proper control procedures and general accounting processes, but ultimately account for the resources that your community provides to your schools. So again, we just really thank you and your staff for the work.
Thank you for your comment. All right, Michael Harris. Mike.
Good evening. I'm having asthma problems right now. I'm coughing and wheezing. Equity Commission Director Devin Stenhouse is working on a 529 presentation. I talked to Devin yesterday. John Baker and I will help. We're hoping by early next year to get this out to the whole city. I've done some work on this. I didn't get very far alone. I quote my audiologist, Fort Miley, teamwork is dream work. I think that summarizes it all. I'm going for a Voting Rights Act. 40 years ago, Jackie Spear wanted 14-year-olds voting. I saw 16 40 years ago. UK children will vote next election. 5 European countries have gone to 16-year-old voting, and other countries as well. Time is now, place is here. I will go to the White House with this. Number 3, I request the district adopt the following 2 books to be used at the high school level, all 4 years to begin with. They should really be at the 11th grade, but this would be a good start. We read Mark Twain's Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. We discussed this. A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court. This is a dystopian novel. It fits our world today. This book on Amazon was, I think, $6. It would be a good idea for all high school students to have this book, go through with a highlighter, and then take a notebook and write down relevant passages. From there, they can write articles on the world today, comparing it to this novel. It will be a learning experience. The other book we did study in high school, I think it's out of date. The Rubaiyat by Omar Khayyam. The most famous phrase in this is on page 44. The moving finger writes, that is fate. And having writ, moves on. Nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it.
Thank you. Jace Marzan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jace Marzan, and last Thursday, September 4th, was my birthday. Thank you. Los Cerritos did a lot to celebrate. We had a sold-out taco fundraiser from and for the PTA, and the school threw a party in the evening, which was a lot of fun. Dr. Moore already talked a little bit about it in her report. That party was called Back to School Night. So first of all, I want to appreciate Assistant Superintendent Tedo and Trustee Richardson for attending my little birthday party. Also appreciate Trustee Richardson for specifically attending my presentation on PBIS and introducing myself as the Wellness Counselor at Los Cerritos. Trustee Richardson, I really appreciate you also asking me questions and trying to learn more about what wellness counseling looks like at the elementary school level. I'm still learning too, and I'm trying to make this plane soar as I'm the pilot. Your questions really made me think critically on how to make the program better. I also had the opportunity to attend other schools' parties that previous week. So I was able to attend El Camino, Parkway, and Sunshine Gardens parties, all magnificent events. I want to give a shout out to the counselors at El Camino, Kate Espiritu Gonzalez, Mary Herr, Stephanie Mikamo, Alex Carrion, as well as the college and career tech, Mark Estrada. Also, a huge shout out to the peer counselors at El Camino High School. I was able to attend the peer counselor presentation, and student Joey Lee's presentation was truly impressive. I learned a lot. At Parkway, I want to shout out the counselors Barbara Quintero, Christine Pubil, and Allison Mateo, and the community liaison, Marilyn Avalos. Finally, I want to shout out the counselor, principal, and teacher at Sunshine Gardens, Elizabeth Saunders, Leticia Gonzalez, and Dorian Sun. I wanted to make sure that I exemplified our core values of community is our strength and authentic relationships matter. I also want to give an extra shout out to Elizabeth and Leticia at Sunshine as they took time to talk with me and really listen to my own personal story about my upbringing. They had the time for that during their busy back to school night. And that story of mine really embodied our value of resilience propelling us forward because I struggled a lot and it propels my why of why equity is also my North Star. They were able to create that brave space for me. So really appreciate all the parties the schools are having in the beginning of the school year in the evenings. Thank you.
Thank you. Megan Connery.
Good evening, Dr. Moore, Cabinet, President Anthony, and trustees, and South San Francisco public. My name is Megan Connery, and I am the math department chair at El Camino High School. The new math curriculum is going well. I welcome the cabinet and the board of trustees to drop by my classroom. I teach every afternoon, periods 5, 6, and 7, right after lunch. Last Friday, I had a class full of students, 2 teachers observing, and Mr. Hanan passed through to say hello. Tonight, I do want to talk a little bit about our multilingual learners, like Mr. Hafner was stating. A decision was made a few years ago that newcomers level 1 and level 2 multilingual learners would attend South City High School, so services for those students could be consolidated in one place. However, last school year, El Camino welcomed a cohort of these students, and this cohort would stay together all day for their core classes. For English, social science, math, science, but for math, all of the Algebra 1 students were placed into one class together that was already a co-taught class. So our amazing teacher not only had students with IEPs, but they also had newcomers, level 1 and level 2 students. And I also want to point out at this time that we only are allotted 1 bilingual para, our wonderful Miss Vega. This year, we were optimistic that the planning would be more effective, but no, it is not. We now have cohorts in math for Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Unfortunately, because the students in the cohort must remain together, both Algebra 1 and Geometry students attend class during period 7 with 2 different math teachers. This unfortunate situation was explained at the training before school started, and the teachers were told that they would just have to share the 1 para during period 7. Now, I don't have to remind you how word-heavy our new math curriculum is. The curriculum follows the same pace for every lesson. Warm-up, activity 1, activity 2, lesson synthesis, and cool down. How is a single para expected to transition between the 2 classrooms with the teachers in the same order for 2 very different curricula? Now, I'm not going to ask how many bilingual paras South City High School has. There are 18 multilingual learners in the geometry class out of a total of 31 students. There are 17 multilingual learners in Mr. Hafner's Algebra 1 class out of 30 students. Oh, and South City High School has sheltered classes. We don't. We greatly appreciate any suggestions that you have as to what we can do to better help our students. We desperately need another bilingual para and/or sheltered classes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Kate Espiritu Gonzalez.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Espiritu Gonzalez. I'm a graduate at both Alta Loma and El Camino, and I've entered my 7th year here as a school counselor in this district, and currently my 5th year as a co-head counselor at El Camino, and soon to be first-time mom. I'm here tonight to advocate for school counselors, specifically around our contracted days and salary schedule. Did y'all know that in California, school counselors are required to hold both a master's degree and a PPS credential, just like school psychs and SLPs? However, unlike those roles, counselors do not have our own salary schedule, and we don't receive the same compensation or contracted days. Counselors share the same contract as teachers who are only required to have a bachelor's and their teaching credential. So I have to ask, why are counselors not compensated at a level that reflects our education, credentialing, and essential role, especially if it's equivalent to that of school psychs and SLPs? Currently, counselors are contracted for 186 days, the same as teachers. In contrast, school psychs have 195-day contracts. But everyone in this room knows that counselors work beyond our contract. We are expected to come in before the school year starts and stay after it ends to work on the master schedule, a task that is crucial for schools to function smoothly. So let me give you an example. This school year, we're given just one contracted day to complete master scheduling right before the first day of school. Think about that. One day to schedule hundreds of students or 1,000, ensuring accurate placements of students with IEPs, multilingual learners, balancing class sizing, auditing hundreds of transcripts while trying to resolve conflicts. That kind of work cannot be done in a single day. Thankfully, my team voluntarily came in the week before school started, but let's be honest, it wasn't voluntarily. Counselors know it is vital. And even during that week, we weren't given full uninterrupted time to do the work because we are pulled into other required meetings. We're told to time card the extra hours, but even then the pay is less than what we do receive if those days are part of our contract. And sometimes we don't even know that time card money is coming from our own counseling budget, which should be going directly to serving our students. So how is that fair? So counselors need additional contract days. We deserve fair compensation that reflects our education responsibilities and time, and we should have our own salary schedule or be placed on par with school psychs and SLPs. If this isn't addressed, I truly believe it's time for counselors in our district to take a stand. We should not be expected to work outside of our contract days unpaid for something so critical to student success. So I hope y'all are not just hearing me tonight. I truly hope you're listening to what I had to say. Thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Thank you. Lucy Bradshaw. Lucy Bradshaw, sorry.
Good evening, Board, Cabinet, President Anthony. I'm here tonight to talk about our site. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Unibro Serra, been teaching for over 20 years. Last year I came and spoke to you about our need for a raise, and I do really appreciate it, but it is a little uncomfortable that there's other employees at our site that haven't got a raise. I am wearing blue tonight for our CSEA. I hope that their raise comes quickly. I had a student the other day who couldn't stop throwing up, got him close to the office, and I said, please help. They came running out, gloves, masks, wipes, everything. It's a tough job, you know, and they really do a great job caring for all of us and the students. Much like democracy, I think equity dies in darkness. Last year when I was here, I learned about TK and about how many families are trying to get into TK. But we still don't know how many are on the wait list, how many want TK but can't get there. We are one of the only sites that does not have a TK. and there's no plan to get one. I don't know the numbers. I don't know how many, but I'll tell you this. Of my 24 kids, 19 were age eligible for TK last year. 11 of those kids actually had siblings at our site last year. So you could imagine how happy they would have been if we had a TK class. 6 of my students attended TK last year. 6, 25% of my class. The year before, it was 30%. And for the other kindergarten class at JS, she had 7 kids in TK last year that attended TK, the previous year. This year, she has 2. So at JS, we have 8 students who attended TK. It's a very low percent out of 48 kids. And it's not the same at other sites in our district. It's much lower. And I'll tell you what, we see it. And you, the new data person, bring it. Let's look at our Dibbles scores that are lower than last year. Let's look at our Brigance scores that are lower than last year. We're a great school. We have incredible attendance. We have great Dibbles scores. And wait till you see our CASP scores. You guys are going to be amazed at what this site is doing. But I'll tell you what, these kids are so motivated to learn. When I tell them, okay, no more books, they're sad. They're sad. And you're taking away the opportunity for them to begin learning as a 4-year-old and a sense of belonging at our site. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Alexis Semaye.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexis LeMay, and I'm the Wellness Counselor at El Camino High School. I will be echoing a lot of what my colleague Kate Espiritu Gonzalez shared as well. This is my 4th year with El Camino High School and South San Francisco Unified. When I started, I was the 20th counseling hire as the district was expanding wellness counseling. We are now up to 27 counseling staff across the district. We are a small but mighty group. While we may make up about 6% of the district's certificated personnel outside of admin, we have historically been tasked by site and district leadership with major vital tasks, including leading district staff professional development, creating every student's schedule, assuring student safety, taking a large role in handling crises and emergencies, and in preparing students for the college and career realm, and the list goes on. Despite all of this, our voices often don't feel heard. I stepped up partway through last school year to become a South San Francisco CTA rep to represent our voices and perspectives as counselors and other support staff. Of the counselors who filled out a survey about sentiments and feedback, 100% are concerned about their salary and are open and eager to being represented on our own salary schedule that more accurately reflects our education level and workload, similar to SLPs and school psychs here and to counselors in neighboring districts. We all need to have a master's degree and at least 3,000 hours of internship experience to receive our pupil personnel services credentials in order to be in our field. And this level of education and experience is not honored with the current salary schedule. We have a high turnover rate as it stands because we do not feel appropriately valued. As one so succinctly put it, we do the work anyway, we should be paid for it. Student well-being, belonging, and mental health fall under one of the 3 main priorities of the district, yet wellness counselors do not have a supervisor, do not have a well-defined job spec and outlined duties, do not have our own evaluation criteria, are all showcasing the lack of support we receive for the critical work we are tasked with. Progress has been made over the years, and I look forward to the day when the district fully walks the talk, so to speak, when the resources are in place to meet the demands. I am proud to be an El Camino staff member and hope to have the support to continue to be one for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item N, information only presentations, teaching and learning. We have a teaching and learning presentation from Martin Elementary School, and I see so many of our meteors and they've been so patient. So we look forward to hearing your presentation, Mr. Cavacha.
All right, thank you. Right about now, we should be doing some brain break, but we're not going to do that tonight, all right? So here we go. Oh, clicker first. Perfect. Okay, well, good evening, President Anthony, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Moore, Cabinet, and community members. It is with great pleasure that I'm here with you tonight and have the opportunity to be able to share with you some of the great work and stories from our schools. I do notice, I think that crowd over there might not be able to see it, but I'll try to describe some of the slides that we have here. Our school mission is aligned with our district's core values and strategic plan that helps us with our commitment to our scholars to thrive and continue to provide opportunities for them with their learning. As they navigate through our school district from preschool to high school, where they can make an impact with their family and community. Educating resilient lifelong learners through collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity, with awareness that each of us can grow and improve each day. Our main focus continues to be in our ability to grow and improve so that we can be a better version of ourselves at the end of each day. Our mission is our why, and our school vision is our what, and the how is our school goals. We are implementing illustrative math in grades 3 to 5 and providing staff development to deepen the use of math talks in scholar learning. Across all content areas, we're increasing opportunities for academic and build scholars' critical thinking, communication, and engagement with diverse perspectives. Finally, we're prioritizing scholar belonging and well-being, ensuring that every student feels valued and connected, which supports engagement, resilience, and positive relationships. This year, we have a total of 370 scholars. 51% of our scholar group is our multilingual learners, with 16 newcomer families. We are looking forward to carrying on to improve our attendance by holding parent check-in meetings where we can have opportunity to develop strategies and support to increase attendance of our scholars. We will also continue our Attendance Matters race, a friendly class competition that highlights the importance of being present every day. Classes will work toward earning recognition for the most days with 100% participation, as well as for maintaining the highest overall daily average. Pre-pandemic, Martin's chronic absenteeism rate averaged about 13.7%. And the year when we returned from distance learning, it ballooned up to 32.20%. We believe that as we continue to build systems to increase the sense of belonging in our school, our chronic absenteeism rate will continue to move towards our goal of having it below 15%. The next 3 sets of data that we'll be looking will be from the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. The assessment is administered to grades 3 to 5. Scholars who have been in the country less than 12 months are excused from the ELA portion, while our newcomer scholars are required to complete the math portion. Both our ELA and math results highlight the important work ahead of us. To begin addressing these needs, we're strengthening Tier 1 instruction to ensure all scholars receiving high-quality core teaching, while also refining Tier 2 supports through targeted small group instruction. These efforts position us to make meaningful progress toward our goals and better meet the needs of every scholar. The English language proficiency assessments for California measures the growth of our multilingual learners. The summative results provide valuable insight into which areas we're thriving and which parts we need to focus our support. This year, we are enhancing Tier 2 services by leveraging our ELD teacher to provide targeted small group instruction for scholars at level 2. Our goal is to reduce the percentage of scholars in the somewhat and beginning to develop range to below 50%, ensuring that more students are making meaningful progress toward English proficiency and long-term academic success. Dynamic indicators of basic early literacy skills, or best known for as DIBELS, is our current tool that we use to screen our scholars for potential reading difficulties. We are proud to share that as a school, we met our 5% goal for the 24-25 school year, seeing an improvement of scholars scoring at or above benchmark rise from 27 to 35%. We are in our third year of using UFly to build foundation skills such as phonemic awareness, graphing phoneme correspondence, and decoding and encoding. Thanks to the dedication of our reading specialists, our classroom teachers, we are seeing strong gains. For example, kindergarten scores at or above benchmark have risen 20%, and first grade has shown an impressive 34% increase. Through our multi-tiered system of support meetings, we're able to monitor as a team how our scholars are progressing in their learning journey. We value the information that we gather from various assessments provided to our scholars. The core of our mission is to always look for growth and improvement. So it is important for us to have the opportunity to see our student learning progress through different sets of data. The MTSS meetings provide us the time and space to be able to celebrate the areas of growth and be able to provide strategies and support that our scholars may need with their academics, social emotional growth, and even support for any family needs that they may have, being able to provide or direct them to the services they're looking. We are deeply grateful for the district and the board's continued commitment to our portrait of a graduate. With the addition of wellness counselor, instructional coach, and ELD teacher, we're better positioned to provide the comprehensive academic and social emotional support our scholars need. Together, these roles strengthen learning for multilingual learners, guide teachers through coaching and feedback, and enhance student well-being through classroom lessons, counseling, and family collaboration, helping ensure every scholar feels supported and connected. These supports are also part of our instructional leadership team, alongside classroom teacher representatives, where we meet regularly to plan and align our work to support our school goals. At Martin, learning doesn't stop at the classroom door. It extends into the real-world experiences that help our scholars thrive. Field trips and assemblies are a vital part of scholars' learning journey, offering hands-on experiences that bring classroom lessons to life. There is something transformative about stepping beyond textbooks and research to witness history, science, or art firsthand. These immersive opportunities provide deeper understanding, spark curiosity, and make learning more meaningful, whether exploring a museum, a historical site, or experiencing theater and arts through an assembly. Scholars are able to connect knowledge with real-world experiences, reinforcing what they've studied in class. We provide opportunities to build confidence, leadership, and creativity for our scholars. Gene Academy offers 3rd to 5th grade mentorship and hands-on STEAM activities, while Girls on the Run promotes confidence and healthy habits through physical activity and life skills lessons. New last year, the Drama Club encouraged self-expression through writing and acting, and the Martin Media Club gave aspiring writers a platform to publish and share their voices. Our commitment to community impact continues with Ruby Bridges Day, where our scholars take an active role in advocating for positive change. We are looking forward to this year's celebration on November 14th and eagerly waiting to see the continued participation of other schools around the country. These programs are shaping well-rounded, engaged, and inspired scholars, because when we provide opportunities beyond the classroom, we create lifelong learners and leaders. I am thankful for the hard work of our staff for being able to provide learning beyond the walls of our classrooms. Our staff is very important for the work that we have at Martin. We are thankful for the commitment, dedication, and love for the most important work in the world, creating opportunities for our scholars. And to all our parents and guardians, here or through YouTube, we want to thank you for your continued support. Our commitment to you and your children is very important to us. Lastly, I want to thank our leadership team who provides support and guidance for the important work that we do, from our CACA and CTA leaders to our district administrators and board members. On behalf of the scholars, families, and staff, we want to thank you for your support, guidance, and encouragement. At this moment in time, I do want to ask Martin Nation, who was able to come and stay up this late with us, and be recognized, starting with our parents. So our parents, please stand up so we can recognize you. Thank you so much. Without you, our safety patrol wouldn't be here tonight. And thank you for all that you do. I would like now to ask Martin staff, if you're here, stand up. If you're in YouTube, go ahead and stand up. We're watching in the living room. We want to recognize you for your dedication and hard work, and thank you so much. And lastly, all of our scholars, please stand up so we can see you and celebrate you. Our Safety Patrol program continues to provide leadership opportunities and also be an important part of our community when it comes to keeping our families safe in the morning and pick up time in the afternoon. We are thankful for their hard work. Yes, I hear you back there, and commitment. So thank you very much, scholars. You may be seated. At this moment, we would like to continue with the spirit of celebration, and we would like to have the opportunity to recognize a few of our parents with our school leaders. We are so grateful for our amazing parent volunteers who give their time and energy to support our school and community. Despite busy schedule, they continue to step in to help make school more fun, welcoming, and engaging for our scholars and staff. Thank you for being an essential part of our community and what makes our school such a special place. So when I call your name, please stand up and join me up here. First one we want to recognize, let's give a round of applause to Miss Jocelyn Lindell. Next one, if we can please have Miss Vanessa Marino. All right, next one, we have Miss Victoria Estrada. It's my pleasure to present this one to Miss Carmen Franco. They couldn't make it tonight. And last but certainly not the least, our PTA president for this year, Miss Raquel Batista. With our unofficial Vice President, Viviana. Come on up.
So you want to come over a little bit?
Safety Patrol, we didn't dress up for nothing tonight. Come on up and we're gonna take a picture with our school leaders also. Thank you very much.
Right here. I think I can put it over.
Take a knee, take a knee, take a knee. Take a knee.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kovacha. We've got
Thank
comments
you.
from the board. Okay,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Shea.
much for the great presentation, Principal Cavalcho. And then the Martin Nation, thank you for coming and staying with us, with our students and then family and community and staff. Your presentation is always, every year is so amazing. And then bring the entire team here. That's another even amazinger. I don't know if there is such a word.
It will be for tonight, yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the great presentation and everything. Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Trustee Richardson?
Mr. Kavacha, you're the patriarch of Martin School. I mean, that's an ongoing role that you play for these students, and you're a wonderful role model. And those children that just light up our room with their bright neon. But I want to say, thank all the teachers and the dedication that year after year that we enjoy going to the Ruby. It started in Martin School, and you led the way, and all the teachers that participated. It was just a wonderful thing. Lifts our whole district. And I appreciate it. I just wanted to say thank you for all the work you do, because it does take a lot. It's a beautiful presentation. When you had the real Ruby Bridges come a few years ago, that was a memorable time. And I really appreciate everybody's efforts, dads, moms, and babies that come over and say hello. So thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Trustee Lamb?
Yeah. Hi, Principal Cavacha. Yeah, thank you for coming and bringing, Meteor Nation. I didn't know it was a nation, but for your own sovereignty. So thanks for coming. Yeah, just to echo everything that Trustee Richardson just said. So yeah, I won't repeat myself, but I do want to mention, coming, I think I visited the campus for the first time this summer during the Big Lift, the showcase.
Yes.
And you really welcomed welcomed me, welcomed everybody. And it was a great showcase. There was a lot of energy, big crowd. So that really speaks to, I think the energy that you have at the school. And so thank you for your work over the summer to host that, to host the Big Lift. And so I do hope I can, come by, during the school year. And yeah, definitely looking forward to that at some point.
Always welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I had a couple questions. So I know the safety patrol has been, phenomenal for many years. I know there's a school, like the one-way street demonstration. I was just curious how that's been going so far.
Yeah, correct. We're very blessed and thankful for the city's effort. Within that project, the biggest one that they have is the one-way demonstration that we have started 3 weeks ago, and we're sad because it's going to end tomorrow. And I think I speak volume for our safety patrol, especially Ms. Engelbart, Ms. Mooney, who are always out there. And of course, our parents who are experiencing the drop-off and pick up every day. Having a one-way street, at least from my observation and some of our parents approaching us, it does make a big difference. It alleviates the traffic, the congestion. I think if I was able to gather some tally marks of honks, angry honks, there's a happy one, there's not so happy one. I think, it's really almost to zero for the last 3 weeks. We are I'm glad we're sharing this for those of you on YouTube. The reflection in the survey is still open, so it's very important for us, for Martin staff and Martin parents, that we are able to share our experience with having that one-way demonstration. On October 1st, Wednesday in Paradise Valley, we're gonna have a community meeting where we get to see some of our neighbors, to hear from them also how this is impacting them. But I'm really hoping that a lot of our parents and all of our staff are able to share their opinion.
Yeah, that's great. And I hope that it does come back. I mean, that we make it a permanent thing. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. But yeah, thanks for sharing that
Thank you.
update.
Yeah.
Anthony, I just had one more.
Thank you. I think Martin.
I just had
okay.
one more.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, in light of what she was asking, Trustee Lamb, and will you announce the date that the parents will be coming in for the feedback on the one-way street in front of your school?
Yeah, so a little clarification for that. So there is an open survey that we share with our community, our staff, and our parents. So that's ongoing until next week. And then I'm meeting with the project manager just to look at the the first wave of data. And then on October 1st, everyone in the community is welcome to join this community meeting at Paradise Valley at 6 o'clock. And I think that's when they'll share the impact of the one-way street. And also there are other things that they have done to make Hillside more secure and also up in the school street. So they will also be sharing updates with those different projects around Martin.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know, because I did visit the area and I saw this big pipe coming out of the ground and I didn't know what it was, but I'd be interested to ask that question whenever they're in front of everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Richardson. Was interested, I would say one of the things that I think Martin does really, really well is student belonging. And so thank you. I mean, you guys really show up. I'm really glad to see the focus on illustrative mathematics this year and math curriculum in general. I think one of the things that Dr. Shea and I have talked about is just the need to continually focus on our academic achievement. And I know that there's a lot of things that go into test scores, and it's not just like a kid's capability. There's a lot of other things that go into it. But I do hope that we'll see some movement that's positive in our math this year with our additional focus. So that's just it. Not really a question, just a
Yes,
statement.
I agree.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, it is 8:24. Mr. O speaks pretty fast, but I'm not gonna make him speak that fast. So we're gonna take a break for 10 minutes. We'll be back at 8:35. All right. We are back. We've lost our audience. We've gained an echo. Whenever I turn on my microphone, it does that. You ready? Can we test it? Talking, nope, definitely. We good? Oh, way better. All right. We've got item O by Mr. O, presentation with potential action. Business services 1A, report on year-end unaudited actuals.
Okay, thank you. Hey, good evening, President Anthony, members of the board, Dr. Moore, cabinet, staff, and committee members. So I'll be presenting the district's unaudited actuals financial report for the fiscal years 2024-25 tonight. So this is the report we usually prepare after we close our books. The report covers the period from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. And the purpose of this presentation is to show how we ended the school year. So these are just some of the areas that I'll be covering tonight. This is the education code associated with the unaudited actuals. So in the next couple of slides, I'll be covering the general fund revenues. The general fund is the district's main operating fund, and you can look at it as one of our many bank accounts. I'm going to be going over the unrestricted general fund and the restricted general fund and the combined amount. So this slide just shows the unrestricted general fund revenues. So we ended the year with 151.9 million in unrestricted revenues. 32.5 million of the revenue is transferred over to the restricted side of the budget to cover the unfunded special education expenditures and the routine restricted maintenance, which is the maintenance budget for facilities and is also required by the law. The bulk of our revenues comes from LCFF resources, which for our district is property tax because we're a basic aid district and a community funded school district. So this slide shows the restricted revenues. I have separated the restricted portion from the unrestricted portion because the restricted portion must be used for a specific purpose. We ended the year with 72 million in restricted revenues, which includes the 32.5 million contribution from the unrestricted general fund. And this slide shows the total revenue for 24-25, which is about 191.4 million. So this is the same information as the previous slide, but in a pie chart. So in the next couple of slides, I'm going over the general fund actual expenditures, just like the revenues. I'll break down the amounts by unrestricted as well as restricted. So this slide shows the unrestricted general fund expenditures. We ended the year with about 108.7 million in unrestricted general fund expenditures. For the restricted general fund expenditures, we ended the year with 68.3 million in expenditures for 24-25. Total of all expenditures about 24-25 is about 176.9 million. So same information as the previous slide, but in a pie chart for you. So the next couple of slides, we're going to see the general fund summary, again, broken down by unrestricted and restricted. So this is a high-level summary of the closing numbers for 24-25. I have broken down the amounts into unrestricted and restricted. As I mentioned, the ending fund balance before the state required designation, as well as the district designations for the unrestricted general fund is about 38.2 million. So just to give you a little breakdown, about 19.6 million is for amounts set aside by the district for anticipated expenditures, which include employee raises not settled and budgeted yet. About 8.8 million is the state required set aside for economic uncertainty. The amount remaining, which is about 9.6 million. So this amount is needed to help the district balance the budget in the next 2 years because the district is currently deficit spending, which means the district is spending more than what it takes in as revenue. The district also has about over 5 million of positions and programs currently paid for with one-time expiring state and local funds, which it will need to be covered starting next school year. The state requires school district to have a balanced budget for not just the current year, but the next 2 years as well. The ending fund balance of the restricted general fund is about 41.2 million. And these are the restricted and state categorical program funds that need to be carried over into the next school years and spent for its intended program purposes. This amount is much higher this year due to the carryover of one-time unspent state and local grants that the district received but has not spent all the funds yet. So some examples of these categorical money includes like the expanded learning opportunities program, arts and music, instructional materials block grant, arts and Prop 28 arts and music, a lot of the gifts and donations from the for all the schools that they have not spent in the current year, and so on. So this is the breakdown of the 19.6 million district reserve set aside for 24-25. So 9.2 million is set aside for employee raises for the current and the next 2 years. 8.5 million is set aside for the litigation associated with the Genentech litigation. 1.9 million set aside for the future district contribution to employee retirement systems. For the unrestricted general fund portion, this is a comparison of the estimated actuals, what we anticipate our revenue and expenditures will look like when we close the books to our unaudited actuals, the actual revenue and expenditures after we close the books. The 3.9 million change in expenditures is due to the shifting of special education expenditures at year end from the restricted side of the budget to the unrestricted side of the budget, basically to avoid increasing our maintenance of effort for the special ed program. So this shift increases the special ed expenditures in the unrestricted side of the budget and reduces the special ed expenditures in the restricted side of the budget, which in turn reduces our general fund contribution to the special ed program. So that's why you see a reduction of about 3.5 million in the general fund contributions line of 3.5 million at a few rows above there in the slide. The net change in expenditures in the unrestricted general fund is only about 461,000 between the estimated actuals and the unaudited actuals. So this was and there was actually a fall of approximately 1.5 million out of the 176.9 million budget for after we close the books. And we're actually not too far off, less than 1% of total expenditures change for the year, which is really not bad at all. So these are just some of the other funds that the district has besides the general fund. The last two slides, areas in the presentation is on the areas of concern and looking ahead. So these are some of the areas of concern that you have seen in some of my previous presentations. I think the two biggest concerns for our district right now are the over 5 million of positions and programs currently charged to one-time state funds or local grants, which are set to expire after this year or depleted after the school year. You know, some of the programs, for example, is like Garza Sports, Air Tutor, some of the wellness counselors, and so on. You know, so a lot of those are charged to the one-time funds. The uncertainty of the funding cuts to federal programs by the Trump administration is also a huge concern for our district because we have over 7 million of positions and programs charged to federal funds. Everyone is anticipating cuts to come, but the big question is, what is the amount? So hopefully we will know more when the federal government passes its budget for next year, which starts on October 1st, 2025. There's a lot of talk that the state of California will try to backfill the federal cuts, some or all of it. However, they can only do this if they have the funds available. For California state budget in 25-26, the governor is already using all of its reserves to balance this budget. if the economy continues to get worse, California will not have the funds to backfill any of the federal cuts, even if they want to. So looking ahead, these are some of the items coming up in the next 3 to 4 months. So that's just for your information. So that concludes my presentation. I'll take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. O? Comments? Mina?
I just wanted to try to understand this, Mr. O, because it's really hard.
Oh.
I can't understand this. When you talk about carryovers and what does that mean? Does that mean what it says is that you carry whatever it is that you're mentioning here to the next budget?
Yeah, so what happened is if you don't spend, because some of the grants, for example, the state allows us multiple years to use the funds, right? So they don't expect you to use all the funds in 1 year. So whatever we don't spend in the first year, we can carry over to the next year to spend it.
Oh, okay. That's what carryover means.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, when you say deficit spending, you're saying that we don't have the money, but we're spending it anyway?
Yeah, what happened is based on the latest information on the projections, we're projecting that, with provided once we give all the raises that we're projected to give, then we will be deficit spending. So the hope is, either we need to, most likely actually, we might need to cut some of the expenditure programs or positions in the future, if we, and also depending on the amount of revenue that comes in, if we get a lot more revenue, there'll be less cuts to make. And also, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty regarding the federal revenue as well. So if those get cut, that's like 7 million, and then we would definitely need to make more cuts.
Okay. So when a few slides back, you had SB, I forget the number. Right back, that one. No, it's not it. Okay. SB 218 litigation costs. What is that? What's
So
SB 218?
that one has to do with the state for sexual harassment. So they ended the statute of limitations. So what happened is the victims that got sexually assaulted in the past, they're able to still bring the lawsuit to school districts and public agencies.
Oh, so we have to plan for that?
Yeah, so we're part of a JPA, a part of San Mateo County JPA. So what happened is when there's litigation, not just our district, but all the district in San Mateo County, we all contribute to help pay for the litigation.
Oh, okay, I get it. It's so everybody has to.
Yes.
pitch in. Okay, well, that's all I have right now.
Okay.
I appreciate your explaining it to me.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you, Mr. O.
Thank you. Any other questions? Comments? All right. So we'll move on to our action item. Business Services 5A, approval of year-end unaudited actuals report. Staff recommends the approval of the 2024-2025 unaudited actuals financial report as presented to the board. Can I get a motion? Great. I've got a motion by Richardson, second by Shea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Okay, move to item P, the consent agenda. The following items are submitted for board approval. One motion will authorize actions for those items so designated. Do we need to pull any items or consider them separately?
Yes, can we consider separately 2D? And I'd like to recuse myself from that item.
Okay, super. Anything else? Okay, so we will deal with 2D first. This is permission for staff to attend the NGSS workshop at the Exploratorium in San Francisco, November 5th through 7th, 2025, and January 13th, 2026. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Can I get a second?
Could you read? Why are we?
Amy works for the Exploratorium, so she's recusing
Yeah,
herself?
the Exploratorium is my employer, so I'm recusing myself from item 2D.
Oh, yeah, right.
So you guys.
We've got a motion to consider just this item without Amy.
Oh, okay, got it. She was accused.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, I've got a motion on the floor by Shay. Trustee Richardson, would you second it?
Second.
Second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0 with one recusal. Now we'll consider the rest of the consent agenda. So that's 1A, 2A, B, C, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, 3A, B, 4A, B, and 5A, B, C.
I have a brief question for the 9-day trip to Europe. If anybody knows where the students will be going, what countries, if there anybody knows where they'll be going, because 9 days is a long trip.
Not to Europe.
Anybody know? No?
No, I think I shared earlier in a communication that we didn't have that information yet, but once we would find out, we
Okay.
would give that to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So can I get a motion to approve all of the items that I listed before? Everything but
motion.
2D?
Second?
That was a motion by Lamb, second by Shay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Moving on to another information discussion item, Administration 1A, discussion of community forum topics. The board will discuss potential topics for the district's community forum being held on October 23rd, 2025.
Yeah, thank you, President Anthony. So in preparation of our upcoming community forum, we have identified potential topics or a potential topic, but we listed all of the potential all of the topics that we previously have discussed. The board typically selects 1 to 2 topics. I wouldn't recommend that you select any more than that. Typically, it's a 2-hour window. Usually it's 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock where we're discussing different items that may be of interest to the board and or community. And so really opening it up to the board, we gave 1 recommendation just given this was an ask of the board to bring this back, but we wanted to open up to the board to see if you wanted to keep it with 1 topic or if you wanted to consider adding another topic to discuss at the community forum.
So what is the topic we already have?
How many topics do we need?
The topic that's being suggested is the Los
Los
Cerritos
Cerritos
modernization.
Oh, I see.
It's in the body of the
Page 50.
page. Yeah, and I think they have the list, and then it says, in addition, this has been identified as a possible topic. Los Cerritos modernization.
No problem.
I think that's a really good topic. I think we do want an update on it. I would also put forth math through a parent lens or math through early adoption. How's it going so far? You know, is there anything that we can provide parents, community as updates? I know a lot of people have questions.
I mean, I do agree with math, but I also feel like that's a thing that we'll need many forums, like maybe even site-based forums. So I guess I had a thought, if we do the Los Cerritos modernization, if we could pair that maybe with a brief presentation, like a summary of all the bond and facilities projects, like just recent things. So a summary of like the bond projects that are happening, just
So
to
just
give.
like a bond update.
Yeah, bond update, just to give an idea of what's been happening as well. And then we could leave the bulk of the rest of the meeting for the Los Cerritos discussion.
I
But,
also, I also like to,
So we're talking about what would be a community forum topic. Trustee Shay started to say something.
yes, thank you. I would also like to advocate the topic of the impact of AI on teaching and learning, or potentially another topic similar, digital citizenship in the age of AI. So can I advocate? I have more, would like to share my thoughts. So we take a proactive and deliberate step to address one of the most urgent and transformative challenges facing education, artificial Yes, thank you. Artificial intelligence, AI. The reality of the AI is not a distance concept. It is here in our students' homes, our homes, students' backpacks, and their homes, their phones and laptops, and our phones and laptops. Tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, just to name a few, are already being used right now, which presents our district with immediate questions about academic honesty, critical thinking skills, and the very future we are preparing our students for. So therefore, I believe our role is to not to react with the fear, but to lead with the clarity and purpose. To do that, we need a clear, expert, informed district strategy. Therefore, I'm advocating that the topic of our community forum is the impact of AI on teaching and learning, or digital citizenship in the age of AI.
Can I throw in one more? Well, if anyone has anything to comment on the AI, but I do.
I think we get them all out and then we discuss.
Oh, okay. So I'll toss out one more, which is just leaning into our this year's priorities regarding belonging, well-being, and student discourse, but just to kind of do, I guess, like almost show like case studies or just like things that different sites are doing to show the variety of things that are happening. An example that comes to mind is like the Culture Keepers at Westboro, that they just won the Ken Award this past year, and like Alta Loma Middle School had some interesting programs happening as well for student belonging. So I don't know, it just seems like every school is kind of experimenting and trying different things. So that would be interesting to share with the community that these things are happening.
Are there any other topics that anyone wants to speak to? And then I'm just going to summarize what I heard and allow the board to discuss which one or two we can discuss at the community forum. Okay, so, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Trustee Richardson, if we have any other suggested topics, now's the time to suggest it.
Okay, I did want to bring up the, but I don't.
Speak into your mic.
I don't know if we'll have time. If we talk about, we have 4 topics.
We're not going to talk about all 5 of these things.
Only
We haven't
1 to 2
decided yet.
topics. You guys have to decide. I'm going to get all of them and then play them back to the board for your consideration.
Okay, so I was interested in finding out, it may be too soon, or something about the Fox Ridge properties, and that we've talked about developing that. And not sure if it's appropriate to bring it at this time, because it may be years away, but I thought we could have a study session separate from that. But if we're going to discuss it to the community, it would be appropriate, I would say. But having the Los Cerritos remodernization situation, I think that would take precedent at the moment. But at some point, I did request a briefing to the board about this property, because we don't have all the specifics, and basically for the new people on the board that predates.
Yeah, I did bring that up to Dr. Moore, and I think we've decided that that's not probably rising to
at this
the
time,
edge. Yeah, at this
as a
time.
priority topic, but we have it on our list.
I agree.
Okay.
Might be too soon, but
But we have it, we wrote it down, so we have it. So here's what we have on for the potential topics for the community forum: Los Cerritos modernization, math through a parent lens or an early adoption lens, or updates that we can provide, a summary of bond projects or updates, the impact of artificial intelligence on teaching and learning or digital citizenship, expert informed information for the board and community, a presentation on belonging and well-being and academic discourse, a showcasing of what all of this sites are doing related to these particular three priorities. And we had Fox Ridge also on the table, but I think we identified that as a future potential discussion. So of those 5 topics, the board will have an opportunity to identify the 1 or 2 that you would like for us to consider. And then we can ask clarification questions for those who oversee the specific topic area.
I'll just venture this, that since math and belonging are our district goals this year, maybe we do just sort of quarterly updates within our own board meeting, rather than having that be part of the community forum. Since, as Trustee Lamb pointed out, like, I think it's something that probably needs continuous updates. And I think the idea of case studies is a great idea for bringing those to life in board meetings. So yeah, that's what I would think. I really like the idea of digital citizenship too, or AI. It's, because, yeah, do we have an AI policy for?
We do not have an adopted AI policy, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I think Trustee Murray's been interested in that as well, and like CSBA's been doing some work behind it. But yeah, this is a tough one because I think that AI, like having that discussion is going to be needed soon, or maybe even yesterday. But we need. But then the Los Cerritos
I think we can
project
do
is,
both.
yeah,
We do Los Cerritos update and then also AI, about an hour for each.
Can we throw in a brief overview of the bond, like just tour of all the bond
My
projects as well?
recommendation would be, if it's going to be on Los Cerritos, we focus on Los Cerritos versus adding an additional bond information. Because I anticipate this is going to be of interest to the Los Cerritos community.
Yeah.
I will say, we did have the bond subcommittee meeting. We should have reported out on that. But I think we also have started to have sort of precedence of having Director Shelton come and give updates on the bond. So it sounds like you're also just looking for an update. So maybe that's also just a future agenda item.
That's coming.
Next time we will update that. Thank you for reminding.
Yeah, I think something related to AI or digital citizenship, whatever. If we have a policy sort of in development, it might be a good time to get community feedback on an AI policy. If that's.
So I'm going to give Dr. Campbell an opportunity, since this is something that I know she also is aware and passionate about, and can probably let us know if that's clear enough so that we know what we should actually be bringing back to the board and community. Dr. Campbell?
Good evening. Just some clarifying questions regarding the expectation of the presentation or the community forum. So with respect to artificial intelligence, are you looking to understand just how it impacts teaching and learning from the student perspective, the teacher perspective, maybe even the family engagement perspective?
Yes.
Would you also like to understand like how artificial intelligence prepares, or the engagement of students in artificial intelligence prepares them for maybe like their future post-secondary endeavors as like careers and things are changing?
Yeah. How we
potentially
preparing them for the future,
For the
and then
future,
the impact
okay.
to our teaching and learning, because this is going to be a game changer, right? Lots of our professional development, our curriculum, we just adapt our math. How does this AI impacting that? I know we may not have answer because there are so many districts are struggling with that. So whatever you have, you can prep us and educate us where we are. And even if we don't have a policy, it's in the work, right? So
Yeah.
I just
So
want to bring that. Yeah,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
So currently, we do not have a policy, and there are several districts in our state and outside of our state with policies. And so I could absolutely, is the expectation in that same session to bring sample policies?
No, I'm
Or
not thinking
not
that.
necessary, okay.
No.
Okay, I think
That's
that,
when you guys are ready, then we will love that. But if you are not, no, we don't want to make something up.
okay.
I mean,
We
I
want
feel
to
like,
engage
yeah.
teachers and our communities. So yeah, thank you.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I feel like seeing what other districts are doing would be of interest just as a point of comparison, um, but yeah, maybe leave it for you to figure out the scope of that.
So can I just clarify? So I heard artificial intelligence and its impact on students, staff, and families, and how it prepares students for the future, like post-secondary, particularly with a focus on the impacts to teaching and learning. And then the last thing I heard was, and seeing what other districts are doing. So can I just make sure that, can I just make sure that it is the pleasure of the board that we do all of those things? Impact students, staff, families, how it prepares students to engage moving through post-secondary, and possibly bringing in what other districts are doing.
I think that's a lot. I will just suggest,
Yes.
Amy, that I'm on the CSBA San Mateo County organizational thing. Maybe we start with what are other districts doing with one of those discussions is sort of among school boards first, rather than bringing it when we're not quite there. I think teaching and learning is going to be a really impactful one if there's a focus among those. I think it would be the.
Perfect. I think I am seeing head nod, so that is the pleasure of the board. We will prioritize those. Thank you very much.
All right. Moving to our action part of our agenda, just time check. We've got, okay, still another hour before next break. 1A, administration, approval of superintendent's contract extension. Staff recommends the approval of the superintendent's contract extension through June 30th, 2029. Any questions or comments on this item? Okay.
So move.
Super. I do have a comment. I know that this is only a one-year extension, and I think it's really wise of the board to wait to do salary until we settle all of our bargaining units. But I look forward to talking about a raise as well and other compensation, whatever that is. Okay, but we have a motion by Shay.
Oh, I wanted to offer a comment as well. Just
Oh,
a
okay.
brief one, yeah. So
Yeah,
that,
trustee Lang.
well, I don't know, I'll second the motion too, as
Okay.
because I do support this. I just wanted to put out there, like, I know there's a lot of, maybe not everyone knows all the things that go on, but being a superintendent, not an easy job. So I'm very thankful, grateful for your leadership here. And just wanted to share, there's a lot of intentionality, thought, strategic thinking behind the things that have been happening. And so I'm just really happy to support that. And, as long as we keep building our leadership capacity and building up our supports for our educators and staff, I think that will also translate into improving student achievement. So we're happy to support this.
I echo what Amy's comment.
Me too. She said it better than me. All right, we've got a motion by Shay, a second by Lamb. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries 4-0. Resolution number 2555 for Hispanic Latinx Heritage Month. Staff recommends the adoption of resolution number 2555, English and Spanish versions, honoring Hispanic Latinx Heritage Month, which is September 15th through October 15th. Trustee Richardson, would you read this into the record?
Well, I'm asked trustee Lamb.
Okay.
Would do us the honor for the English version, and I shall do it in the Spanish version.
Are we doing both? Okay, great.
Okay,
Trustee
so
Lang.
here we go. So for Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month, September 15th through October 15th, 2025, resolution number 2555. Whereas the month of September 15th to October 15th was designated as Hispanic Heritage and Latinx Month by the United States Congress in 1988. And whereas Hispanic, Latinx, or Latino refers to Puerto Rican, South or Central American, or other Spanish cultural or origin regardless of race, And whereas September 15 was chosen to commemorate the anniversary of independence of 5 Latin American countries, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, and September 16th for Mexico's independence. And whereas this year's theme is collective heritage, honoring the past, inspiring the future. And whereas the impact of the Hispanic-X, Latinx culture and centuries-old traditions are manifested in our state's customs and laws, and whereas Hispanic Americans and Latinx continue to make important contributions to our society and American government, business, agriculture, armed forces, commerce, education, the arts, science, and sports, and whereas California Education Code Section 51204.5 specifically calls for instruction in the social sciences to include the study of the role and contributions of Mexican Americans to the economic, political, and social development of California and the nation, with particular emphasis on portraying the role of this group in contemporary society. And whereas Hispanic Americans, Latinx, are one of the fastest growing communities in this country and represents 62 million or 19% of US residents, 40% of California's population, which signifies the nation's largest Hispanic and Latinx population, 30% of the South San Francisco population, and 45% of the district's students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the South San Francisco Unified School District Board of Trustees hereby recognizes and wishes to honor Hispanics and Latinos during 2025 Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month, regularly passed and adopted this 11th day of September 2025.
Thank you, Trustee Lamb. Trustee Richardson. Perfect.
Unificado de Sur San Francisco, resolución número 2555, mes de la herencia hispana Latinx, 15 de septiembre, 15 de octubre de 2025, mientras el mes de septiembre 15 a octubre 15 fue designado como el mes de la herencia hispana Latinx por el Congreso de los Estados Unidos en 1988 y mientras hispano, Latinx o latino se refiere a Puerto Rico, riqueños, sur o centroamericanos u otra cultura hispana u origen, no interesa la raza. Y mientras septiembre 15 fue escogido para conmemorar el aniversario de la independencia de 5 países latinos americanos, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras y Nicaragua, y septiembre 16 por la independencia de México. Y mientras este tema es herencia colectiva, un legado que honra el pasado o inspira el futuro, y mientras el impacto de la cultura hispana, Latinx y tradiciones centenarias son manifestadas en nuestras costumbres californianas y leyes, y mientras los hispanos, americanos, Latinx continúan haciendo contribuciones importantes con nuestra sociedad en el gobierno americano, negocios, agricultura, fuerzas armadas, comercio, educación, las artes, ciencias y deportes. Y mientras el Código de la Educación de California, sección 51204.5, específicamente requiere que instrucciones que ciencias sociales incluya el estudio del papel y contribuciones de los mexicoamericanos a la economía política y sociodesarrollo de California y la nación, con infatuación particular interpretando el papel de este grupo en la sociedad contemporánea. Y mientras hispanos, americanos, Latinx son uno de los grupos de la comunidad creciendo muy rápido en este país y representan 62 millones o 19% de los residentes en los Estados Unidos, 40% de la población en California, el cual significa la población más grande de hispanos Latinx en la nación, 30% de la población de Sur San Francisco y 45% de los estudiantes en nuestro distrito. Ahora, entonces, está ya resuelto que la Junta Directiva del Distrito Escolar
de Sur San Francisco reconoce y desea honorar a los hispanos y latinos durante el mes de herencia de Hispano Latinx, regularmente aprobado y adoptado el 11 día de septiembre 2025.
Gracias. Now we need a motion.
So moved.
So moved. Perfect.
Second.
Great. Motion by Richardson, second by Shea. Can I get a roll call vote, please, Joanna?
Trustee Richardson,
Yes.
trustee Shay,
Yes.
trustee Lamb,
Yes.
I'm ready.
President Anthony.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. All right, teaching and learning 2A. Approval of agreement with Maria Verdin, LMFT, LPCC to provide early childhood mental health consultation, ECMHC, for the 2025-2026 school year. Staff recommends the approval of agreement with Maria Verdin for ECMHC services at the Children's Center, Hillside, and Martin Elementary for the 2025-2026 school year in the amount of $38,500. Any questions or comments on this item?
So moved.
All right, motion by Shea,
Second.
second by Lamb. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. 2B, approval of the SMCOE Teacher Induction BTSA Program Agreement for the 2025-2026 school year. Staff recommends the approval of the SMCOE Teacher Induction BTSA Program Agreement with the district for the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions or comments on this item?
So moved.
All right, motion by Shea. Second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Item 2C, approval of the MOU with Exploratorium for the 2025-2026 school year. Staff recommends the approval of the MOU between the Exploratorium and SSFUSD to support the evaluation and development of instructional resources as part of the Elementary Science Instructional Innovators Cohort Initiative for the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions or comments on this one?
President Anthony, I'd like to recuse myself from this item since Exploratorium is my employer.
Thank you. Recused? Any questions or comments?
So moved.
Okay, we've got a motion by Shea, second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. We move on to 3B, resolution number 2553, Education Code and Title V, where staff recommends the adoption of resolution 2553, Education Code and Title V options for teaching assignments for the 2025-2026 school year. Can I get a motion, or at first, any questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion with a waiving of the reading?
So moved. Waiving of the reading.
Great.
Second.
Motion by Shea, second by Lamb. It's a resolution. Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Richardson. Trustee Shay,
Aye.
trustee Lamb,
Yes.
President Anthony.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. 3C, amendment with Scoot Education. Staff recommends approval of the amendment with Scoot Education to incorporate hourly rates for certain additional special education positions for the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions or comments on this item?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Motion by Lamb, second by Shea. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. 3D, agreement with Reach University. Staff recommends approval of the agreement with Reach University with oversight from Alternatives in Action to provide candidates with opportunities to complete job-embedded graduate degree or credentialing programs. Any questions or comments with this item?
So moved.
Trustee Richardson?
Second.
We're on 3D, agreement with Reach University.
I'll second the motion.
All right, motion by Shea, second by Lamb. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes, okay, motion carries 4-0. No problem. We're on 3E, provisional internship permit PIP for Kyrie Velasquez. Staff recommends approval of the PIP for Kyrie Velasquez, extensive supports needs teacher at Junipero Serra Elementary School for the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions on this?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right. Lamb with the first, Shea with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Item 3F, provisional internship permit, PIP for Jessica Schnuty. Staff recommends approval of the PIP for Jessica Schnuty, teacher at Monteverde Elementary School for the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions or comments on this item?
So move.
Briefly, I just had a quick question. How long have they been into the program that they can be assigned a provisional internship permit? Who are these offered to? Who is allowed to apply for this internship? How much training do they have?
Trustee Richardson, the length of time is for 1 year.
1 year. And what grade levels are they allowed to be interned? What grades are?
It is applicable for any educator in a K through 12 setting. So depending on the position that they're hired for, we would apply for a specific PIP or
Okay,
provisional
through 12.
internship
Oh,
payment.
okay. Thank you.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve?
I think I motioned.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry, I missed that. Motion by Shea, second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. All right, moving to Student and Family Services, amendment with Right at School LLC. Staff recommends approval of amendment number 1 to the agreement with Right at School to accommodate increased ELAP student enrollment for the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions or comments on this one?
I just had some questions just to clarify. So regarding the enrollment, so from the documents, it says it's going to expand enrollment to 200 students. And so is there understanding is that this is going to cover the current, like all the people who are needing or wanting a spot? And how are we prioritizing those spots?
So the amendment would be to increase from 100 to 200. And so currently our ELOP providers keep running lists based on when families try to sign up. So they'll be using those lists to enroll.
And I guess, are the spots kind of divvied up kind of equally, or is it just kind of like whoever signs up first or asks?
So
Because there's like three or four sites, right? Or three of the sites are getting expansions of slots. And Altaloma is kind of holding at what they have currently.
Yes, so currently it'll be based on need and capacity at each site. And then at Altaloma, they do have there's currently enough space in their current allocation.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to ask that for the record, just because I know having after-school programs, after-school care is just a very needed resource in our community. So
Right, and so to add to that, Vincent Chandler, our ELOP coordinator, is currently working with our city partners to develop a plan to expand servicing for the upcoming school year for 26-27. So trying to build capacity with our local partners to be able to increase and meet that need for our families.
Yeah, great. That's great news. Thank you.
Yep.
I also just want to give a shout out to Vincent. He's really hit the ground running, and I really appreciate the work that he's done in getting kids enrolled and building systems for the future. So thank you for that.
Yeah, same here. Looking forward to being able to continue to improve and better serve our families.
Yeah, this is one of the things that came out of the Joint Advisory Committee for the Child Care Master Plan, the JACCCMP, that Dana and I sat on a couple of years ago, was the need for coordination, better coordination, earlier coordination, so that the parents weren't on the first day of school going, okay, where is my kid going to after school? You know, like it's really just exciting. So glad to see that coming to life. All right, can I get a motion?
So move.
All right, I got a motion by Shea, second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. 5B, you had 5A earlier. 5B, amendment number 3 with ProTech Consulting and Engineering for El Camino High School. Staff recommends approval of amendment number 3 with ProTech Consulting and Engineering for hazardous materials consulting and services for the El Camino High School Central Kitchen and Cafeteria Project under the Measure T bond program in the amount of $19,200. Any questions or comments on this one?
So moved.
Second.
Right, we got a motion by Lamb, second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. All right, business services 5C, approval of agreement with Sim Architects for Monteverde Elementary School. Staff recommends approval of the agreement with Sim Architects, Inc. for architectural and engineering services for the new TK classroom building project at Monteverde Elementary School in the amount of $168,400. Any questions or comments on this item?
Some comments and questions from me. So obviously, I'm excited to hear that we're adding TK capacity at Monteverde. I know that I'm sure there's a lot of families who would prefer to have their child enrolled, closer to them, or at least to have some option at Monteverde. So it sounds like that we're building, I just want to put on the record, so we're building one TK classroom, is that correct? And the capacity for that is for one class. Is that for Mr. O?
Yes, that's correct. It's one, actually, it's not a portable, it actually is a modular building. It's the DSA approved modular building, which will include a restroom inside the portable or modular building as well.
Because that's part of having a TK classroom. You
Yeah.
have to have the restroom in the.
Yes, and so it's going to accommodate, basically 20 or 24 students, depending on what we decide.
Okay, gotcha. And then, so this is agreement with Sim Architects. They're also doing the kind of bond scoping. I mean, all projects in Monteverde, including bond and this,
Yes.
this particular project is not bond funded, but
Yes.
they're kind of overseeing all projects that are going to be happening.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
site.
they were selected because, they're the one who's doing the assessment for Monteverde. So they have the information about the whole campus. So it makes sense to have them also do this separate project, as part of the non-bond project.
And just to clarify again, so this is not bond funded just for almost like for speed, just to get this, because we kind of need this sooner and.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly because, it could be a few years before the actual construction at Monteverde. So this is a need right now that we need to have more space for the students on the wait list.
Yeah, gotcha.
Any other questions or comments?
I was thinking it was going to be next year. That's how I wish, but I understand. But those will be, all our schools will have a TK after these are done. This is what I read in some of the facility report that I saw from the subcommittee by our facilities director. Is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
are
we
we
have
saying- are we-
currently
is that-
Monteverde and Junipero Serra are the only two
Yeah,
that doesn't
JS.
have it. So we're also looking at Junipero Serra also to see if we can add
That's
one
what
there,
was
but
said.
space is very, very tight there. So we're trying to
It-
figure out if it's possible even to add it there.
I was rather pleasantly surprised that we actually had all those up and running, and there's all these 10 schools, what is it, 9 schools, plus, yeah. So I was happy to see that because I heard the parents speaking out. They love that program.
Yes.
Just no other way to say it, that we can't build enough of those for our district.
Yeah,
Because they're
we'll-
so
yeah.
popular. Thank you to the staff who worked so hard to make it happen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, we're trying to move as fast as we can. That's why we're not waiting for the bond program. We're doing that as a separate project.
All right,
So move.
I got a motion by Shay,
I'll second.
second by Lamb. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. 5D, approval of agreement with Sim Architects, Inc. for El Camino High School. Staff recommends approval of the agreement with Sim Architects, Inc. for architectural and engineering services for the El Camino High School Athletic Field Stadium Restroom Building in the amount of $168,000. Any questions or comments on this item?
I did ask also, because it just happened that the previous item and then this and the next item were not, they're funded by regular facilities funds. I was like, well, I might as well just keep asking why we're using the facilities fund, just to clarify. But it sounds like this is also much needed. And I've heard that some community comments about needing this facility. So could you speak to that as well?
Yeah. Part of the reason why we were advancing this forward is because the high school is going to take a few years before the actual construction. And also, I just want to remind the board, the actual bond that passed only covers less than 50%, even less than 40 maybe now, because of all the tariffs and everything going on. So we're not gonna be able to touch a lot of even some of the wings and some of these high schools. So this one is a kind of urgency. So we decide to move forward and use our facilities funds to pay for that.
Okay. And I probably should have read it more closely, but do we know when we expect that to be completed, the restrooms?
The hope is to try to get it done by the summer, before the summer, or maybe during the summer.
So moved.
Great. Motion by Shea. Second by Richardson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. All right. Item 5E, amendment number 1 with 19.6 architects for South San Francisco High School. Staff recommends approval of amendment number 1 with 19.6 architects for additional architectural and engineering services required by DSA for the 2 special education classroom renovations at South San Francisco High School in the amount of $59,450. Any questions or comments on this item? I got a comment, which is that it's wild what they make you do, even though it has nothing to do with the actual project. That's my only comment. It's like repaving the sidewalk somewhere, right? Like, it's not even like the sidewalk that's next to the thing. Whatever, it's wild. Trustee Lamb, anything you were gonna say?
No, I mean, I could repeat myself, but it's, I mean, yeah. being
Moving
that-
forward faster.
Yeah. It's
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we know we need this, so I'm glad that we're spending our facilities.
Well, yeah, we
funds
already
on this
started
as
it.
well.
Like,
Yeah, it's where it's been
we
started.
can't get
Yeah,
this
is an
approved until we
amendment
get this
yeah,
DSA
that's
stuff
true.
solved.
Okay.
So I second.
All right, so Lamb first, Shay second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 4-0. All right, item 5F, resolution number 2554, GAN limits. Staff recommends the adoption of resolution 2554, certifying the actual GAN limit for 2024, 2025, and the estimated GAN limit for 2025, 2026. Any questions or comments on this item?
I'd like to
Otherwise,
make a
can I get
motion
a,
with waiving, we
Yeah.
need to read this?
appreciate
Okay.
that. Motion with a waiving the reading. Thank you, trustee Lamb. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by
I
Shay.
move to waive the reading.
Yeah, she did. She
Oh,
did.
she did?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
she
yeah.
did.
Thank God. Yeah. No,
It was pretty short. We could read it, but no, let's not.
It's a roll call. Can I get a roll call, please?
Trustee Richardson.
Trustee Richardson, we're on roll call.
Trustee Shay.
Yes.
Trustee Lamb.
Yes.
President Anthony.
Yes, motion carries 4-0. All right, review of future agenda items and meetings. Any questions or comments on these? We talked about our community forum topics, so we can update that for our September 25th meeting. Summary of board directives.
There are none.
All right, and then good and welfare.
Okay, can I start?
Yeah.
Thank you. So I want to begin with 2 moments that have stayed with me from our recent back to school nights, which someone referred to as a party. And at Brewery, a parent told me their child feels genuine excitement to come to school every day. And at Altaloma, I saw a teacher working with a student, and the energy between them was pure joy and connection. Those moments are not accidental. They are the direct results of our deep commitment to thrive, to fostering wellness and belongings so that every single student in our district feels seen, valued, and excited to learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Shay. That's a great observation. Trustee Lamb?
Yeah, I have a few remarks in probably like 3 minutes, so just let you know. So, I just want to know, today is the anniversary of 9/11. So, hard day, but I hope we can take a moment to remember those who are lost and recommit to the spirit of community and service to each other. I believe the spirit is much badly needed in these challenging times. I must admit, I've been really deeply disturbed by a lot of recent headlines lately, just especially yesterday's horrific shootings at Utah Valley University and Evergreen High School in Colorado. It's just pointless, senseless violence. We must denounce this kind of these outrageous things. But it's times like these that I'm grateful that we're part of this community. The values of our district are about community, authenticity, resilience, and equity, really about our belief that a better world is possible, where we can all live and work together, persevere through challenges, and care for each other. I mean, it feels like more and more our society wants to tell us that, we should be valuing the opposite. But to that, I say no. No to that. On this anniversary day and every day, I ask that we commit to living by our values and choosing to value one another. In that spirit, I'm glad, I'm grateful for the past 2 weeks of back to school nights. There were joyous occasions, and it was a chance to reconnect with friends, meet new friends as well. I visited South San Francisco High School, Westboro Middle School, Juniper Serra, and Monteverde. So thank yous to Principal Belisi, Rossi, Sempayan, and Mert for their warm hospitality. My family was among the crowds of parents and students. I mean, it was like packed. These were like really, people are really excited about the new school year. Everyone's excited and eager to meet their new teachers. And so for my family, we're immensely grateful to our kids' teachers at South City High and Monteverde for guiding this year. A couple other things. I visited Los Cerritos with Dr. Moore and Trustee Richardson. That's my first time walking the campus there, and also saw Mr. Marsden. Thank you. So thank you to Principal Hong and all the teachers for welcoming us into their classrooms where the kids engaged creatively in math and writing activities. We also learned about some of the shifts being made to better support their multilingual learners. I'm really excited to hear about it. So looking forward to following their progress. I also visited the Family Resource Center recently to donate items. President Anthony, I know you've been doing that for quite some time, so I'm just kind of getting into the program finally. And I talked to Ms. Fatima Maldonado, who shared that about 30 families reached out for help at the start of the school year. So, clearly the need is out there. If you're able to contribute items or volunteer, or you need support yourself, please reach out to the Family Resource Center. They're at South City High, so you can contact them. And then before I close, I just want to briefly acknowledge the passing of our former school board member, Ray Latham, and extend my condolences to his family. And then I just want to say thank you, Trustee Latham, for your many years of service. It's truly an honor to be, for me, and I'm sure for all of us, to be serving on the same board as you. And I hope we carry forward that legacy in the district in the same spirit of community as you did. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Lamb. Trustee Richardson? Is your microphone on?
Weekend, Trustee Lamb and her family were at the Cultura Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole board was invited, and she and I went. And it was a parade down on Grand Avenue. The South San Francisco Women's Club marched, and CERT, the South San Francisco local response team was present. Families, children enjoying dancing, celebrating all the cultures, Latin America, Latinos, and the board, of course, was invited. It was a big turnout. Last night at the city council, the mayor said that there were 4,500 people in attendance. And I walked through the street, and Familias Tomando Acción had a table, ethnic foods vendors, local community colleges. Last night, a poet and former mayor of East Palo Alto, Mr. Antonio Lopez, was introduced by the city mayor at the council meeting, who is a Duke University graduate and currently a PhD candidate. And he read a poem for Hispanic Cultural Month on, which is, we just read and acknowledged. I also attended a book signing earlier of the local talent of Mr. John Goodwin. He's the parent, and I think Trustee Shea knows him. He's a former student of El Camino High School, and he worked for the park, National Park Service career, 24 years, and I bought his book, and you're welcome to read it. But I also wanted to segue to Mr. McGowan, our local educator, also wrote a book, but I don't know the name of it because the person that told me, I went to back to school night, and Mr. McGowan is his second book, and I don't know the name of it, but I was going to be told the name of it. It's on Amazon, so maybe you could look it up with his name. So that's our local talent that in our community he's an English teacher at Baden High School. Anyway, there's so much talent in our small community, but Mr. Goodwin lives in Colma. So I was so smart. I said, Mr. Goodwin, is Colma a national park? And he says, the cemetery a national park? He says, no, it's not a national park. So that answered that question. And I try to go to as many nights as possible. Everyone's so happy to be back in class, children, parents, and the parents have their own children going to these schools. It was just amazing how people just love our area, love our schools. I mean, a lot of kudos on the menu. They love pepperoni pizza, and at South San Francisco High School entertained us with our renowned folklorico that I went to, and enjoyed speaking to Miss Wang, the history teacher who's been in teaching for 24 years. At the kickoff was at the El Camino High School with taco trucks and the new clubs. Culinary had a table with delicious pictures of all the products and all the things they bake. This delicious looking turkey was the science club. I bought a t-shirt, which I owe I owe you $5 or 50. I don't know. I bought a t-shirt. Anyway, I had a brief conversation with Mr. Lopez, who is the mariachi teacher. I didn't even know he was there, but he will be bringing a spring conference performance for us next year. So that is my contribution for tonight.
Great. Thank you so much. I want to acknowledge a student from South San Francisco High School who emailed me last week, 2 weeks ago. Yun Lee really exemplified the traits of learn, and I would say also impact. Yun wrote to me to advocate for changes to our district PE policy, and they made a really good case, and I've passed it on to consider. So I think I just wanted to say thank you. They also reached out to me last year for advocacy around what we're doing for our immigrant families. So just really wonderful that they're so active in reaching out and speaking up for what they want. So thank you to Yun Lee for exemplifying learn and impact. And with that, I'm going to adjourn in memory of Raymond Latham. This evening, the Board of Trustees adjourns in memory of Raymond Ray Latham, who dedicated much of his life to education, community service, and leadership. Mr. Latham began his career with San Francisco Unified School District, serving as an educator. He later transitioned into the restaurant industry, where he worked as a corporate partner and general manager for 2 decades, before returning to his passion for teaching as a professor at City College of San Francisco in the Culinary Arts and Hospitality Services Department for 16 years. At this point, you may be wondering why we're honoring him. It's because in addition to his professional accomplishments, Mr. Latham devoted many years to serving the South San Francisco Unified School District as an elected trustee, including multiple terms as board president. He was widely respected by his colleagues, staff, and the community for his thoughtfulness, dedication, and commitment to public trust. So what I think I'm hearing is that South San Francisco lost a really good one. We honor Mr. Latham's many contributions and extend our deepest condolences to his family. So thank you so much for suggesting that we adjourn in honor of Mr. Latham, Amy. And with that, we adjourn.